Welcome to PACTApp. In this tutorial, I am going to show how to manage survey in the app. To access the surveys, we have to click on the More tab on the bottom right corner, then select the surveys. It will load the list of surveys. There will be two tabs, Self and Public. Under Self, all the enrolled one will be available. Under the Public tab, all the public surveys that are ready to enroll are here. We can click on the enroll and enroll ourselves into that particular survey. To enroll for a particular private survey, we have to apply the token. That means we have to click on the apply token number on the top. I'm going to show you. So here I'm going to use some dummy data. So if I click on the apply, it will load the list of surveys that are associated with that token, and there will be an enroll option. If we want to enroll us into that particular survey, we'll have to click on that. We can at any time click on the view to see the detail of that form. We will see some of the item will have the start option because we have already enrolled for that survey. That means if we click on the start, it will let us submit our responses. We'll see a list here and enroll us at any time. So I already have enrolled to a survey which I am going to show you details, so that's why I am not clicking on the enroll here for this one. So I'm going to show another one, for example survey 66.2. If I click on the enroll, it will load and enroll me into the survey. Depending on the internet speed and the size of the form, it will take some time. You see that this survey I have enrolled didn't take much time, because in the action menu you see that the form not published yet. That means this survey is published but its form is not published yet. That's why it takes little amount of time, but it may take some time. So I'm going to click on the back button and I see the list of survey here. So I am going to select the survey 65.2, for example. I'm going to click on the start, so it will allow me to provide my response. I'm just clicking on the start. So as this survey has some associated listing book, so we have to select the PSU number for that listing book. There will be available option. For here only one option is showing, so I have to click on that and click on done. So then I have to select any of the listing book entry under that and click on done. Then we will be able to create the response, so by clicking on the create button. So it will basically load the survey. Yeah, now we will see that there are some options on top. There are two icons. One is for saving the information and one is for using the listing book detail. The right one is the saving icon and the left one is the listing book detail. If we click on the left one, we will see the associated data for the listing book that we have selected. We can at any point click on the copy icon at the right of the input fields and that value will be copied. If I click on it, the value will be copied to the clipboard. That means we can use this at any field here. We can paste it here. So, and also at any point we can save this form, even by providing any of the fields. At least the survey title have to be provided. So I am going to add some title here. So I have write down the title name and I am willing to save it. Whenever we click on the save button, it will no longer exist here, it will go offline. I am going to share the detail. If we click on the save icon on top right corner, it will actually save the form, and it will saved in offline mode. That means we will no longer need the internet connection to continue with that survey. So if I go back, we will have the offline tab at the bottom. If we click on the offline tab, we will see a list where there is a item called surveys. We have to click on that. So here we will find our saved surveys that are saved offline mode. So if we click on it, it will load the form again, and we can make any change here and as many time as we want. So we can, for example, here I have given a number. I am going to provide, if I want to give the name of the Khana Pradhan from the listing book, I have to click on the listing book icon on top right. Then I have to select the member name. I am going to click on the copy icon and then go back and paste it here. Then I will have to select the fields, I mean the values, whatever is appropriate. I am just going to show some dummy data here. So this is the drop down selection type of input. Here we see the radio button. All the required field will be identified by required keyword. So if we click on that, we will see that there are some dependent fields. We see that if we click on the Gramanchal, it's not loading the word number, but if we click on the Shohoranchal, here we will see there is a field appearing called word number. So I'm going to provide some word number here, and here we will see some other input field as well. So if we click on the Upasthit, so some fields will appear actually. Eventually we can add all these fields at any point and we can update. I'm going to click on the update button. So the form is updated at this state. So if we click on this, the form will be loaded with the information that we have saved till last state. So we can see all the data here that I have selected few minutes earlier. So if we select yes, then some detail question will appear here. We will have to fill the form according to the questions type. So there will be a various types. Actually there will be straight input field where we can write down. There will be a radio button where we can select single values. There will be drop down for selecting single values. Even there will be some other fields like multi select. If we click on that, here we see the multi select one. We can click multiple option. So depending on the type of the input, we have to fill the form, and finally we can at any time save it by clicking on the save icon or from the bottom button to save. And finally, when we will think that all the information regarding this form is there, we can actually submit this form for review. We have to go at the bottom of this form and click on the submit. Whenever we are saving this form, it will actually not check the validation, like if there is any specific required field or any type of validation added, it will not ask for validation. But if we want to submit it, if there is any missing value, it will ask for that. For example, here we have a lot of required field, but I haven't filled that yet. So if I go to the click the submit button, I am clicking on the submit button. Instead of submitting, it will show me some notice like field supervisor's name is required, so I have to provide that. So if I click on that and provide a name and then try to submit it again, so it will try to submit the form, but as there are other fields as well, like information collection date is not here, we have to provide that as well. So we have to select the date from here. So this is how all the data is to be inputted before the submission is made. So when all the form data is inputted from here, we have to click on the submit. What we have to keep in mind is whenever we make some changes, we have to save it locally by clicking on the save icon or clicking on the update button at the bottom. And finally, when we are in the internet connection, all this data will be loaded, stored in the offline version. So if there is no internet connection, this data will not be lost, it will be saved locally, and when we are in internet connection, we will have to click on the submit button, so it will be submitted. And to successfully submit, we have to provide all the required fields information, and the validations should be considered, so then we will be able to submit it. So thank you for watching this tutorial.